Ra's al Ghul is a supervillain and anti-hero in DC Comics, first appearing in Batman number 232 in 1971. He is a highly skilled tactician, martial artist, and leader of the League of Assassins, an organization dedicated to world domination through chaotic methods. Ra's is a mastermind with vast resources, political influence, and advanced scientific knowledge, particularly in the fields of biology and alchemy. He is known for his obsession with global environmental renewal, believing the world must be cleansed of humanity to restore ecological balance. Ra's is famous for using the Lazarus Pits, mystical pools that grant him immortality by healing his body and rejuvenating his aging process. These pits, however, cause temporary insanity each time they are used, and their effects are often unpredictable. His main goal is to reshape the world according to his vision, often clashing with Batman, whom he sees as a worthy adversary. Despite his ruthless methods, Ra's al Ghul is not without a sense of honor, and has at times allied with heroes when his interests align with theirs. His daughter, Talia, and his son, Damian Wayne, who is also Batman's biological child, are key figures in his life, with Talia often being his confidant and partner in his criminal endeavors. Ra's al Ghul's influence spans various storylines, such as The Demon's Quest, Hush, and Batman, Son of the Demon. He has been adapted into multiple forms of media, including animated series and films, where his portrayal remains largely consistent with his depiction in the comics. The Spectre is a cosmic entity in DC Comics, first appearing in More Fun Comics, number 52 in 1940. He is the embodiment of God's vengeance, serving as an instrument of divine retribution against wrongdoers. The Spectre's power is nearly limitless, granting him control over reality, time, and space, as well as the ability to manipulate matter and energy. Originally, the Spectre was the human Jim Corrigan, a police detective who was murdered, and subsequently became the Spectre after being resurrected by the Voice, which represents God's will. As the Spectre, Jim is given immense power, but bound by the Voice's command to exact vengeance. The Spectre's role is to punish evil, often through brutal and extreme methods, making him a force of cosmic justice. His powers include reality warping, invulnerability, and immortality, as well as the ability to transform into any form or size. The Spectre's significance in the DC Universe spans multiple storylines, including Crisis on Infinite Earths and Identity Crisis, where his power is shown to be so vast that he often struggles to balance his divine role with the moral complexities of human life. His appearances often involve battles with other powerful entities like the Anti-Monitor and the villainous Eclipso. While initially serving only as a punisher of evil, his character has evolved to explore deeper philosophical questions surrounding justice and morality, with his power being so great that he can defeat even the most formidable opponents. The Anti-Monitor is a powerful cosmic entity in DC Comics, first appearing in Crisis on Infinite Earths number 2 in 1985. He is the main antagonist of the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline, where he is revealed to be the force responsible for destroying entire universes. The Anti-Monitor exists across multiple dimensions and possesses vast, godlike powers, including reality manipulation, energy absorption, and the ability to travel through time and space. He was created as a counterpart to the Monitor, a being of order, and is driven by a desire to bring about universal destruction to feed his own existence. The Anti-Monitor's power is so immense that he can wipe out entire universes with a single thought. His actions lead to the merging of multiple Earths into a single timeline, drastically altering the structure of the DC universe. The Anti-Monitor's primary role is to destabilize the multiverse, and his encounters with the heroes of Earth, particularly Superman and the Flash, are central to the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline. He also appeared in Final Crisis and Blackest Night, where his power continues to pose a significant threat to the entire universe. His strength is so vast that even other cosmic beings, such as the Spectre and the Guardians of the Universe, struggle to confront him. Dr. Fate is a powerful sorcerer in DC Comics, first appearing in More Fun Comics number 55 in 1940. He is the earthly incarnation of the Lord of Order, Nabu, who grants him immense magical abilities through the use of the Helmet of Fate. The Helmet, an ancient artifact, allows Dr. Fate to wield vast mystical powers, including reality manipulation, telekinesis, immortality, flight, and the ability to cast powerful spells. Dr. Fate's primary role is to defend the Earth from magical and supernatural threats. He is often seen as one of the most formidable magic users in the DC universe. His connection to Nabu grants him wisdom and knowledge beyond human comprehension. Throughout his history, the mantle of Dr. Fate has been passed on to various individuals, including Kent Nelson, the original Dr. Fate, and other hosts like Eric and Inza, each gaining their own version of the powers linked to the helmet. Dr. Fate's most significant appearances include the Crisis on Infinite Earths and Justice League Dark, where his abilities are crucial in battling cosmic threats and dark forces. In the Justice League comics, comics, he has worked alongside heroes like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, often providing magical support. His powers, tied to Nabu's will, place him among the most overpowered characters in the DC universe, with his abilities limited only by his access to the helmet and his understanding of Nabu's commands. Shazam is a superhero in the DC Comics universe, first appearing in Wiz Comics #2 in 1939. Shazam is the alter ego of Billy Batson, a young boy who can transform into an adult superhero by uttering the word Shazam, which stands for the powers of 6 mythological figures: Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury. These figures grant Billy the abilities of wisdom, strength, stamina, power, courage, and speed. Billy's transformation grants him near godlike powers, including superhuman strength, speed, invulnerability, flight, and the ability to generate magical lightning. Shazam's most notable battles include facing off against villains like Dr. Sivana, Black Adam, and the Monster Society of Evil. His powers are both magical and divine, giving him an edge over many other characters. Shazam's significance lies not only in his powers, but in the mythological aspects of his abilities, drawing from ancient figures like Hercules and Zeus. His origin and powers have been revamped over time, particularly in storylines like Crisis on Infinite Earths and the New 52 reboot, where his role within the broader DC universe was expanded. In the Justice League comics, Shazam has served as both a powerful ally and a vital member. Talia al Ghul is a powerful and skilled assassin in the DC universe, first appearing in Batman #411 in 1987. Talia is the daughter of Ra's al Ghul and has inherited his expertise in combat, strategy, and manipulation. She is also the mother of Damian Wayne, the son of Batman and Talia. Talia is known for her intelligence, agility, and combat prowess, being highly trained in hand-to-hand combat and various weapons. Her significance stems from her complex relationships, particularly with Batman, whom she both allies with and opposes. Her manipulation of events often places her at odds with Batman and other heroes. Talia's association with the League of Assassins makes her a key figure in many storylines, such as Batman Son of the Demon, where she and Batman conceive Damian. Talia has also led the League of Assassins in her father's absence, using its vast resources to carry out her plans. Her intelligence and strategic mind make her a formidable opponent, often orchestrating events behind the scenes to achieve her goals. Her character has been a recurring antagonist in Batman storylines and has appeared in several animated adaptations. Vandal Savage is a highly skilled and ancient immortal villain in the DC universe, first appearing in the Savage Hawkman #1 in 1940. Vandal is a caveman who gained immortality by exposure to a meteorite, which drastically increased his lifespan and physical capabilities. Over thousands of years, he has accumulated vast knowledge, wealth, and influence. Vandal's immortality allows him to recover from injuries and age at an incredibly slow rate, making him nearly impossible to kill. His intelligence, combat skills, and knowledge of history make him a formidable strategist and tactician. Throughout his long life, Vandal has served as a leader in various historical events, such as wars, revolutions, and political upheavals. His most notable roles include being an enemy of the Justice League, especially Hawkman, whose connection to Vandal goes back to ancient Egypt. Vandal's goal is often world domination, and he has attempted to manipulate events throughout history to achieve it. He has been involved in numerous storylines, including Justice League comics, where he is portrayed as a major threat. Vandal has appeared in various animated adaptations and TV shows, such as Justice League Unlimited and DC's Legends of Tomorrow, where his timeless nature and ambitions are central to his character's significance. John Constantine is a British occult detective, anti-hero, and master of dark magic in the DC universe, first appearing in the saga of the Swamp Thing #37 in 1985. Constantine is a skilled magician and demonologist, known for his cunning, manipulation, and use of occult knowledge to outsmart supernatural beings. He often operates in morally gray areas, using any means necessary to achieve his goals. Constantine's most defining trait is his ability to manipulate magic, though he is not as powerful as some other magic users in the DC universe. His power lies in his strategic mind, his vast knowledge of magic, and his connections with supernatural entities. Constantine has often faced enemies such as demons, dark gods, and other magical threats. He is a central figure in the Hellblazer series, where his battles with the supernatural and his personal struggles with guilt and morality are key themes. John's most significant interactions include his involvement in major storylines like the Books of Magic and Justice League Dark, where he plays a key role in leading the group of mystical heroes. Throughout these stories, Constantine's use of magic is less about raw power and more about his ability to outwit and trick enemies, often using their own weaknesses against them. He has appeared in multiple adaptations, including animated series and films, where his complex nature and cunning are central to his role. Superman Prime, 1 million, is the Superman of the 853rd century, a direct descendant of the original Superman, Kal-El. In the storyline DC 1 million, he and the Justice Legion Alpha, the 853rd century counterparts of the Justice League, travel back in time to the 20th century to invite the original Justice League members to the 853rd century. Superman Prime, 1 million, possesses evolved Kryptonian abilities, including superhuman strength, invulnerability, superhuman speed, advanced vision capabilities, superhuman hearing, superhuman olfaction, freeze breath, and flight. Additionally, he has developed powers such as force vision, telepathy, extrasensory perception, and electrokinesis. His physiology allows him to absorb solar energy from Earth's supersun, granting him near-limitless stamina and the ability to heal rapidly. He is also immune to kryptonite, red sun radiation, and psionic attacks. In the DC 1 million storyline, he and the Justice Legion Alpha assist the original Justice League in combating the artificial intelligence Solaris, a sentient star that poses a threat to the solar system. The storyline culminates with the original Superman recreating Krypton and restoring his wife, Lois Lane, in a new indestructible form. Emperor Joker is an alternate version of the Joker who gains near-omnipotent reality-altering powers after tricking the impish fifth-dimensional being, Mr. Mxyzptlk, into transferring 99.99% of his abilities. This transformation occurs in the Emperor Joker storyline, which spans several Superman titles, including Superman number 160 to 161, and the one-shot Superman Emperor Joker number 1, 2000. With his newfound powers, Emperor Joker remakes the universe to reflect his chaotic and twisted vision, subjecting its inhabitants to his whims. He frequently tortures Superman by killing him daily and resurrecting him, all for his own amusement. This cycle continues until Mr. Mxyzptlk, who had lost his memory due to the power transfer, regains it and aids Superman in breaking free from the Joker's control. Superman ultimately defeats Emperor Joker by exploiting his obsession with Batman. The Joker's reluctance to erase Batman, who defines his existence, leads to his downfall. Captain Atom, originally named Alan Atom, is a superhero known for his energy-based powers. In his original Charlton Comics incarnation, Alan Atom was a physics-minded soldier who, after an accidental launch into space, was transformed by a nuclear explosion, gaining the ability to absorb and project nuclear energy. In DC Comics' reimagined version, Nathaniel Atom, a United States Air Force pilot, was wrongfully convicted of a crime and offered a chance at freedom through a secret government experiment. This experiment involved exposing him to an alien metal bonded to his skin, resulting in powers such as superhuman strength, speed, invulnerability, and the ability to manipulate atomic energy. Captain Atom's body is coated in Delustal, an alien metal that grants him vast energy manipulating abilities and near immortality. His skin is highly durable, resistant to most forms of damage, and he can project devastating energy blasts. However, rupturing his skin can lead to uncontrollable radiation leakage, posing a significant threat of atomic detonation. Lobo, known as the Main Man, is a notorious intergalactic bounty hunter and the last surviving member of the Jarnian species. Born on the utopian planet Charnia, Lobo exhibited violent tendencies from a young age. At 16, he killed half of his planet's population, and at 17, he engineered a plague that wiped out the remaining Jarnians, making him the sole survivor. Following this, he became a bounty hunter, renowned for his strength, regenerative healing factor, and immortality. Lobo's abilities include superhuman physical attributes, rapid healing, invulnerability, and the capacity to create clones from his blood. He is also known for his colorful language, love for heavy metal music, and riding a space motorcycle called Sonya. Lobo's first appearance was in Omega Men number 3 in June 1983. Initially introduced as a villain, he later evolved into an anti-hero, often portrayed as a parody of the grim and gritty superhero trend of the 1990s, known for their over-the-top violence and satirical humor. Lobo has also appeared in various adaptations outside of comics, and is slated to appear in the upcoming film Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Amazo is an android that possesses the ability to duplicate the powers of any metahuman he encounters, including Superman's strength, Flash's speed, Wonder Woman's abilities, Martian Manhunter's shape-shifting, and Aquaman's aquatic skills. First appearing in The Brave and the Bold, number 30, 1960, he was created by Professor Evo, a scientist who sought to replicate the abilities of superheroes. Additionally, Amazo can replicate objects like Green Lantern's power ring and Wonder Woman's magic lasso, enhancing his combat capabilities. His first appearance established him as a formidable adversary, leading to multiple encounters with the Justice League, where he often absorbs their powers, making him a continually evolving threat. In various storylines, Amazo seeks purpose beyond his programming, sometimes aligning with heroes like Dr. Fate to find meaning. His character has appeared in multiple media adaptations, including animated series such as Justice League Unlimited, where he attains godlike power and the ability to teleport. Ultra-Humanite, first appearing in Action Comics number 13, 1939, is among DC Comics' earliest supervillains. He serves as a nemesis to Superman and the Justice Society of America. Ultra-Humanite possesses a highly advanced intellect and the ability to transfer his consciousness into other beings, making him a formidable opponent. Initially, he was depicted as a scientist with a crippled body but a brilliant mind, contrasting with Superman's physical prowess. Over time, he transferred his consciousness into various forms, including Dolores Winters, a famous actress. Ultra-Humanite's mind inhabited her body, allowing him to manipulate events from behind the scenes. Albino Gorilla, a giant white ape. This form granted him immense strength and durability, making him a significant physical threat. Johnny Thunder, a member of the Justice Society of America. By taking over his body, Ultra-Humanite gained access to the magical powers associated with Thunderbolt, a genie-like entity. These body-swapping abilities, combined with his genius-level intellect, have made Ultra-Humanite a persistent and adaptable adversary in the DC universe. Gog, a powerful DC character, debuted in New Year's Evil, Gog number 1, 1998. His origin begins with William Matthews, the sole survivor of a Kansas nuclear disaster caused by parasites' attack on Captain Atom. Superman saved him but couldn't rescue his parents, leading William to form a church worshipping Superman. When Superman rejected this, William went mad. The Quintessence, Shazam, Ganthet, Zeus, Highfather, and the Phantom Stranger, gave him their power, transforming him into Gog. Blaming Superman as the Antichrist, Gog killed him and repeatedly traveled back in time to kill Superman, absorbing their powers and creating paradoxes. This led to the discovery of Hypertime, a multiverse-like construct. To stop him, Rip Hunter gathered heroes from various timelines, including Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Offspring, Nightstar, and Ibn al-Sufash. They lured Gog into battle at planet Krypton, using artifacts to weaken him and sending him into Hypertime, stabilizing the timelines. Gog's powers include super strength, speed, stamina, invulnerability, flight, teleportation, size alteration, self-duplication, accelerated healing, time travel, energy manipulation, temporary power granting, and reality manipulation. Johnny Sorrow, originally Jonathan Sorrow, is a supervillain in the DC Comics universe, primarily known as an adversary of the Justice Society of America. He first appeared in Secret Origins of Supervillains, 80-page Giant number 1. Once a silent film actor, Johnny Sorrow's career ended with the advent of sound films. Turning to crime, he stole a subspace prototype device that granted him intangibility by warping through another dimension. During a confrontation with the JSA, Sandy the Golden Boy damaged this device, leading to Johnny's disintegration and transport to the subtle realm. There, the King of Tears, a Lovecraftian entity, found Johnny and provided him with a golden mask, restoring his physical form. His abilities included levitation, teleportation, energy manipulation, and the use of his mask to induce death upon exposure. Despite his formidable powers, he was ultimately defeated through the combined efforts of the JSA and other heroes. Dark Flash, also known as Walter West, hails from an alternate timeline in the DC multiverse, specifically Hypertime. He is a version of Wally West who failed to save his wife, Linda Park, from being killed by the villain Cobra. This tragedy drove Walter to adopt the Flash mantle in his universe. First introduced in the Flash Volume 2, number 150, 1999, Walter's role in the main DC universe began when he arrived during Wally West's absence in the Speed Force. His presence caused disruptions, leading to reality merging within Hypertime, prompting intervention from Superman and Wonder Woman to send him back. Despite this, Walter continued trying to change his past, traversing different realities. Walter possesses typical Speed Force powers, including superhuman speed, agility, and reflexes. However, the emotional toll of his past sets him apart from other speedsters, shaping his unique approach to heroism. Walter has also appeared in other media, such as Justice League Heroes, where he is an alternate costume for Wally West. In essence, Dark Flash's journey through alternate realities and the Speed Force explores themes of loss, identity, and the consequences of tampering with time, deepening the Flash mythos. Bat-Mite is a fifth-dimensional imp introduced in Detective Comics number 267, 1959. He idolizes Batman and frequently visits from his dimension, resembling a childlike man in an ill-fitting Batman costume with a black lightning bolt insignia. With near-omnipotent powers, Bat-Mite can manipulate reality, alter sizes, animate objects, and project energy blasts. These abilities come from advanced fifth-dimensional technology that appears magical to three-dimensional beings. Bat-Mite appeared regularly in Batman comics during the early 1960s, often teaming up with Mr. Mixyez Pitlick to challenge Batman and Superman. However, following a 1964 revamp, Bat-Mite was temporarily retired. Bat-Mite's childlike enthusiasm and overwhelming power make him a unique and memorable figure in Batman's universe. Black Racer is the personification of death for the New Gods, first introduced in New Gods number 3, 1971. Initially, he appeared as a medieval knight in black armor riding skis, tasked with guiding the souls of deceased New Gods from Apocalypse and New Genesis to the afterlife. The Black Racer's human host is Willie Walker, a paralyzed Vietnam War veteran. After witnessing a murder, Walker's despair summoned the Black Racer, who freed him from paralysis and bound him as his host, allowing him to serve as the embodiment of death for the New Gods. In the Darkseid War storyline, the Black Racer merged with Barry Allen, the Flash, after Darkseid's death. This fusion granted Barry the Black Racer's abilities, including superhuman speed, strength, immortality, flight, and possession. However, the combination was brief, and Barry was eventually freed from the Racer's influence. The Black Racer's main role is to escort the souls of New Gods to the afterlife, highlighting his position as a cosmic force outside the Speed Force's reach. His interactions with other speedsters, like Barry Allen and Wally West, emphasize his unique, all-encompassing role in the DC universe. Time Trapper is a supervillain in the DC Comics universe, known for his opposition to the Legion of Superheroes. First appearing in Adventure Comics number 317, 1964, he wields near-total control over time, able to age individuals, manipulate temporal events, and create barriers like the Iron Curtain of Time to block time travel. Residing at the end of time, Time Trapper is a major threat to the Legion, whose mission is to preserve the timeline. His true identity has been a mystery, with theories suggesting he could be future versions of characters like Cosmic Boy, Lori Morning, or Superboy Prime. In Crisis on Infinite Earths, it was revealed he embodies entropy, representing the universe's inevitable decay. A key storyline, Legionnaires 3, 1986, shows Time Trapper trying to alter history by targeting Lightning Lad to prevent the Legion's formation. Time Trapper has also appeared in media, such as JLA Adventures, Trapped in Time, where he's depicted as a dark matter entity existing outside time and immune to changes. Overall, Time Trapper's mastery over time and mysterious origins make him a persistent and evolving threat to the Legion. Eclipso, first appearing in House of Secrets number 61, 1963, is a powerful entity in the DC Comics universe, often depicted as a manifestation of divine wrath or an angel of vengeance. Initially, he was the dark half of scientist Bruce Gordon, who transformed into Eclipso during solar eclipses after being injured by a black diamond. This transformation granted him super strength, partial invulnerability, and optic blasts. Eclipso's origin was later expanded, revealing him as a vengeful demon, the spirit of God's wrath, cast out of heaven to become an agent of chaos. He could possess individuals by corrupting their emotions, amplifying their darkest tendencies. In the 1992 storyline Eclipso, The Darkness Within, it was shown that Eclipso used black diamonds to possess beings, exploiting their anger to take control. Eclipso's powers include weather manipulation, deadly eye rays, possession, shadow manipulation, reality warping, and absorbing powers from entities like the Spectre. He has used these abilities to target characters such as Superman and Captain Marvel, exploiting their vulnerabilities. In the Rise of Eclipso arc, he killed the Spectre, absorbed his powers, destroyed the moon, and attempted to annihilate Earth before being defeated. Orion, first appearing in New Gods number 1, 1971, is the second son of Darkseid and Tigra. As part of a peace deal between Apocalypse and New Genesis, Orion was exchanged for Scott Free, the son of New Genesis's leader, Highfather. Raised by Highfather, Orion learned to control his rage and became New Genesis's most powerful warrior. A member of the New Gods, Orion possesses superhuman strength, speed, durability, and endurance, on par with Superman. His regenerative healing factor lets him recover quickly from injuries. Orion is also a master of combat and wields the Astro Force, a cosmic energy he channels through his Astro Harness or wristbands. This energy allows him to project destructive blasts, create force fields, and absorb attacks. His Mother Box, a sentient technology, helps manage his emotions and heal him when needed. Orion's internal conflict between his heroic nature and violent tendencies inherited from Darkseid defines much of his character. He has been a member of various superhero teams, including the Justice League. In a key storyline, Orion fulfills a prophecy by killing Darkseid, though Darkseid's essence survives and eventually leads to Orion's death. Jamie Reyes is a Mexican-American teenager from El Paso, Texas, who becomes the third individual to assume the mantle of Blue Beetle. He discovers the Blue Beetle Scarab, an ancient alien artifact which fuses to his spine, granting him a powerful suit of armor. This armor is highly adaptable, capable of forming various weapons, such as swords, shields, claws, grappling hooks, and energy cannons. It also enables flight through the manifestation of wings and jet engines, vibrational phasing to pass through solid objects, and teleportation by slipping between universes. The Scarab's artificial intelligence, initially referred to as Kajida, evolves over time, developing a unique personality and forming a symbiotic relationship with Jamie. This bond is central to Jamie's journey, as he navigates the challenges of wielding such formidable powers while adhering to his personal code of ethics. The One Above All is recognized as the highest power in all reality, existing as the origin and foundation of everything across time and space. This being holds greater strength than every other force combined, making it the ultimate authority over the entire multiverse. As the Supreme Presence, it possesses unlimited power, complete knowledge, and exists everywhere at once, surpassing every cosmic figure and abstract entity, including the living Tribunal who enforces balance on its behalf. Unlike other forces that dominate through control, this presence creates through compassion. Its essence is centered on building life and maintaining harmony, yet it also carries an opposing form known as the One Below All. This darker side represents destruction and decay, ensuring balance by breaking down what has been made so it can be renewed and reshaped. Through this dual nature, creation and destruction remain in constant cycle. Despite its unmatched supremacy, its abilities are not absolute. Disruptions in the multiverse can weaken it, such as when Thanos, guided by a future version of himself, absorbed its essence through the astral regulator. Its inherent alignment with ultimate good also restricts it, preventing it from acting with direct malice or causing harm. The One Above All has appeared on rare occasions to guide mortals and cosmic beings alike. It once revealed itself to the Fantastic Four, commending their perseverance and granting hope of new discoveries. In another moment, it comforted Peter Parker, encouraging him to continue despite hardship. Figures such as Eternity and Infinity acknowledge its authority, while the Living Tribunal operates as its representative to maintain order. At its core, the One Above All defines creation, guidance, and renewal. Through limitless wisdom and an inseparable duality, it shapes the multiverse, while remaining the unseen force behind its order and survival. The Beyonder is an immensely powerful being from the Beyond Realm, a plane of existence that lies outside the multiverse. His origin began when Owen Reese, later known as Molecule Man, accidentally pierced this dimension and released energy that granted sentience to the Beyonder, while also empowering Reese himself. When first revealed, the Beyonder demonstrated his strength by creating Battleworld, a patchwork planet assembled from fragments of multiple worlds. He then transported numerous heroes and villains there, forcing them into conflict during the event called Secret Wars. This experiment was meant to study the constant struggle between good and evil. His powers include the ability to alter reality, manipulate matter, and project limitless energy. He has displayed the capacity to erase and recreate even abstract forces such as death. Despite his vast reach, he has faced major challenges. In one confrontation, Molecule Man absorbed his energy and ultimately defeated him, stripping him of his abilities. He was also temporarily outmaneuvered by Victor Von Doom, who managed to steal his power before the Beyonder regained it. Another defining clash came against the cosmic being called Cosmos, who matched his strength and absorbed his essence. The Beyonder was also judged by the Living Tribunal, the multiverse's supreme arbiter, who restricted his influence and established boundaries for his actions. Beyond these struggles, he has also been opposed by Eternity, Galactus, and the Celestials, each forcing him to confront his own vulnerabilities. Over time, the scope of his abilities has shifted. Later revelations redefined him as a child unit of the Beyonders, a race of higher dimensional beings with power surpassing almost all other forces. Even so, he remains below entities such as the Living Tribunal and Eternity. Although not invincible, the Beyonder endures as one of the most dangerous and unpredictable presences in the Marvel multiverse, embodying raw power capable of reshaping all existence. Owen Reese, known as Molecule Man, was once a laboratory technician who gained extraordinary powers after exposure to radiation from a particle generator. This radiation originated from the Beyond Realm and altered him on a molecular level, granting mastery over both matter and energy. At first, his abilities were held back by his own insecurities, leaving him unable to affect organic material. Over time, however, he overcame these barriers and unlocked his full potential. His powers allow him to rearrange molecules, generate protective force fields, unleash devastating energy attacks, and even traverse hyperspace. In his early years, he focused his abilities through a steel rod, though he later learned to control them without aid. His immense strength was tied not only to his own will, but also to a hidden link with the Beyonders, who had designed him as a weapon capable of destroying universes. This connection gave him access to their vast energy and amplified his influence. Throughout his history, Owen became involved in several defining events. During Secret Wars, he fought on Battleworld, the patchwork planet created by the Beyonder, siding with Victor Von Doom and other villains against heroes such as the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and Spider-Man. On Earth, he clashed repeatedly with the Fantastic Four and the Avengers, including a notable incident in Manhattan where he trapped the entire city within a massive glass dome. His confrontations were not limited to Earth, as he also battled across other dimensions against cosmic figures like the Beyonder and the Silver Surfer. In later conflicts such as Secret Invasion and the Multiversal Incursions, Owen's role became even more significant. Ultimately, during a final confrontation with Victor Von Doom, he transferred his essence essence into a single molecule, ensuring his survival while also helping to rebuild existence itself. Through this act, he contributed directly to the restoration and recreation of the multiverse, proving himself not just a destroyer, but also a force of renewal. Molecule Man stands as one of the most pivotal beings in all reality, capable of altering creation at its very core and shaping the fate of the cosmos itself. Franklin Richards, the son of Reed Richards and Sue Richards of the Fantastic Four, was born in New York City and inherited extraordinary abilities from his parents' radiation-altered genes. His powers first emerged during childhood, attracting the attention of a nihilist who sought to exploit Franklin's potential for his own survival. Because Franklin's abilities manifested unpredictably, they often placed those around him in danger, leading his father to create safeguards to monitor and control his energy. During his early years, Franklin was cared for by allies such as Agatha Harkness, a powerful sorceress who guided him. Despite his young age, he faced dangerous adversaries, including Ultron, Onslaught, and Victor Von Doom. Even in these situations, he consistently displayed courage and determination. His connections with other young heroes were equally important. He formed friendships with the Power Pack, worked alongside the X-Men, and built a lasting bond with Kitty Pryde. Franklin's abilities are among the most impressive in existence. He can warp reality on a massive scale, manipulate energy and matter, and use psionic powers such as telepathy, telekinesis, and energy projection. Although his control has often been limited by his youth and inexperience, his full potential has been glimpsed through alternate versions of himself. One future incarnation demonstrated near immortality and the capacity to destroy two Celestials, placing him among the most powerful beings in creation. Later in his life, Franklin faced setbacks when his powers disappeared. His powers were eventually restored, though he chose to conceal them from others. He limited their use to once per year, dedicating that time to traveling the multiverse in search of potential threats. Franklin Richards remains one of the most significant figures in the Marvel Universe, embodying both limitless potential and the constant struggle to control power that could reshape existence itself. The Living Tribunal is a supreme cosmic force whose duty is to preserve balance across the entire multiverse. Acting as the ultimate judge of realities, it ensures that no universe grows so dominant that it threatens the existence of others. Its authority extends over all cosmic laws, making it a central figure in maintaining order throughout creation. The Tribunal's earliest recorded intervention came when Dr. Stephen Strange encountered it during a moment in which Earth was considered for destruction. Strange argued successfully for the planet's survival by proving its potential for both good and evil. Since then, the Tribunal has appeared in other decisive moments, such as guiding the Silver Surfer and interacting with Wendell Vaughn, reinforcing its constant oversight of cosmic balance. Its form is defined by three faces, each symbolizing a principle of judgment: equity, which appears uncovered; vengeance, which is partly veiled; and necessity, which is fully concealed. A fourth side of the head remains empty, representing an absence once linked to the cosmic being called the Stranger. These aspects allow the Tribunal to weigh every matter from multiple perspectives before rendering final judgment. The Tribunal's authority is second only to the One above all. It has shown its might by nullifying the power of the Infinity Gems when combined, preventing them from being wielded as a singular force. To extend its influence, it employs representatives who carry out its rulings across alien civilizations. In rare multiversal events, the Tribunal has acted alongside other supreme entities. Despite its unmatched status, the Tribunal was eventually overwhelmed by the Beyonders, who destroyed it during their campaign to unmake all of existence. Afterward, an alternate version of Adam Warlock was elevated to assume the Tribunal's position, chosen by the One above all to carry on its role. The Living Tribunal stands as the highest judge of creation, embodying impartial justice and ensuring that the vast web of universes remains in harmony. Hyperion is a character with multiple versions across Marvel storylines, each highlighting different aspects of his role as a hero or weapon. His earliest incarnation appeared as a member of the Squadron Sinister, created by the Grandmaster to battle the Avengers. This version introduced his immense strength, flight, and energy projection, but established him as an enemy rather than an ally. In the Earth 712 continuity, Hyperion, also called Mark Milton, emerged as a founding member of the Squadron Supreme. This version identified as an Eternal, granting him superhuman speed, durability, heightened senses, and the ability to emit destructive beams of heat from his eyes, known as atomic vision. Among his most significant battles was the conflict with Brainchild, a mutant of immense psychic power. Hyperion and his allies combined forces with the Avengers to stop Brainchild's plans of planetary devastation. While the Squadron Supreme sought to defend their reality, their extreme methods often placed them at odds with other heroes. A reimagining appeared in the Supreme Power storyline, where Hyperion was sent to Earth as a child and raised under strict government control. Trained as a covert covert operative, he eventually turned against his handlers, using his eternal attributes to forge his own path. In Earth 616, another Hyperion appeared as part of a Squadron Supreme formed from survivors of destroyed universes. This version embraced harsher measures to defend Earth, clashing with the Avengers over their contrasting ideals. His most defining moment came during a brutal confrontation with Namor, ruler of Atlantis, after Namor was held responsible for the annihilation of Dr. Spectrum's home world. Hyperion executed Namor with his atomic vision, decisively ending the conflict, but demonstrating the uncompromising severity of his actions. Another incarnation appeared within Squadron Supreme of America, a team assembled by Mephisto. In this version, Hyperion lived with a civilian identity as a history teacher, while continuing to fight alongside his team against threats such as Namor and the Defenders of the Deep. Across all iterations, Hyperion's power set remains consistent: immense physical strength, flight, enhanced perception, and atomic vision. His one vulnerability lies in exposure to Argonite radiation, which can weaken him significantly. Despite this, every portrayal confirms him as one of Marvel's most formidable figures, embodying immense power that often raises questions about how far a hero should go in pursuit of justice. The Sentry, whose true name is Robert Reynolds, is one of the most complex and powerful figures in the Marvel Universe. His abilities originate from an altered version of the Super Soldier Serum, granting him immense strength, speed, agility, and durability. His feats include lifting an entire helicarrier, battling Thor to a standstill, and even preventing the cosmic giant Exitar from crushing Earth with assistance from Rogue. He has also defeated foes of immense power, such as Carnage, Terrax, and Ultron. Despite this vast power, Robert's abilities are limited by his unstable mental state. He constantly struggles against the Void, a separate being that embodies his darker instincts. The Void is a destructive entity capable of overwhelming the Avengers and other powerful teams, often turning Robert's strength into a devastating threat. The unclear nature of the Void, whether it is part of him or something greater, adds to the mystery of his existence. Robert's duality has placed him in the roles of both savior and destroyer. His unstable psyche and the Void's influence have drawn him into conflict with the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and even the Hulk. His relationship with the Hulk is especially significant, as their battles demonstrate their near-equal power. In one clash, Robert fought the Hulk to a stalemate, showing the extent of his endurance and might. He has also faced manipulation and defeat. Victor Von Doom once managed to steal his powers, proving Robert is vulnerable to strategic opponents. On other occasions, the Void has taken control, severely injuring him and nearly overwhelming his heroic side. The origins of his abilities remain uncertain. While officially tied to the serum, there are hints that his powers may stem from a higher cosmic source, or even a divine force. His molecules exist outside normal time, placing him simultaneously in the past, present, and future. Comparisons have been drawn between his potential and that of Molecule Man, suggesting a scale of power that borders on limitless. The Sentry story is defined by contrast: light against shadow, stability against madness, and hero against villain. Though his true limits remain unknown, Robert Reynolds endures as one of Marvel's most unpredictable and formidable beings. Wanda Maximoff, known as the Scarlet Witch, descends from the Maximoff family, a Romani bloodline long connected to mystical power. Her abilities stem from a rare genetic structure that allows her to access and manipulate magical energy on a scale few can match. Her early life was filled with tragedy. Her mother, Talia Maximoff, a gifted sorceress, was killed in battle. Wanda and her twin brother Pietro were later taken in by the High Evolutionary, who experimented on them and enhanced their latent potential, granting them extraordinary abilities. As Wanda matured, her magical gifts grew increasingly powerful. She became proficient in sorcery and learned to wield chaos magic, a primal force that amplified her powers further. Her connection to magic was deepened when she was possessed by Chthon, a demon lord who infused her with his own energy. This bond expanded her already formidable control over reality itself. Wanda's personal life was equally eventful. She fell in love with the synthezoid Vision, and the two married. Using her powers, she created twin sons, Thomas and William. Their souls, however, were fragments of the demon Mephisto, who later reclaimed them, erasing the children from existence. This loss marked a turning point in Wanda's life and further shaped the complexity of her character. Over time, Wanda became identified as a Nexus being, a rare figure who serves as a fixed point in the flow of realities and timelines. This role gave her vast influence over existence, making her central to the balance of the multiverse. However, her abilities often drew the attention of manipulators such as Immortus and Morgan Le Fay, who sought to exploit her for their own designs. On multiple occasions, her actions, sometimes under outside influence, reshaped the very fabric of reality, leading to catastrophic consequences. consequences. Her most impactful moments include the events of Avengers Disassembled and House of M, where her power altered entire worlds. These stories reaffirmed both the scale and the volatility of her abilities. Wanda has since re-established her role as a wielder of chaos magic and a Nexus being, restoring her place among the most powerful figures in existence. Throughout her history, Wanda Maximoff has been both protector and threat, guided by love for her family but burdened by the weight of her power. Her journey remains one of constant evolution as she seeks to master abilities capable of reshaping reality itself. David Haller, also known as Legion, is a mutant with powerful and unstable abilities in Marvel Comics, first appearing in New Mutants number 25, 1985. He is the son of Charles Xavier, the founder of the X-Men, and Gabrielle Haller, a Holocaust survivor. Legion has dissociative identity disorder, with each of his multiple personalities granting him different powers, including telekinesis, telepathy, time manipulation, and reality warping. Each personality controls a different aspect of his vast abilities, making him unpredictable and extremely dangerous. Legion's most significant storyline is Legion Quest, 1991, where he attempts to kill his father, Charles Xavier, in the past, leading to the creation of the Age of Apocalypse reality. In X-Men Legacy, 2008 to 2012, David Haller is shown trying to come to terms with his powers and identity, further exploring his complex and fractured nature. His powers have resulted in various cataclysmic events, and his presence often poses a serious threat to both the X-Men and the entire Marvel Universe. Legion's character is defined by his internal struggle to control his multiple personalities and immense powers, making him one of the most overpowered and unpredictable characters in Marvel Comics. Thor, as Rune King Thor, appears in Thor number 80 to 85, 2004, where he becomes empowered by the Odin Force and the runes of the universe. In this form, Thor surpasses even Odin in power, able to manipulate reality itself, control the elements on a cosmic scale, and access all the knowledge of the universe. Rune King Thor is virtually invincible, with his abilities extending to creating and altering matter, traveling through time, and defending entire realms. Thor's transformation into Rune King Thor occurs after he absorbs the power of the ancient runes, making him a being of infinite potential. As the Herald of Galactus, Thor serves as the cosmic entity's messenger in Thor number 160, 1968. In this role, he is given the power cosmic, significantly enhancing his strength, speed, durability, and energy manipulation abilities. The power cosmic allows Thor to manipulate vast amounts of energy, heal himself, and even control the elements, making him nearly unstoppable. As a Herald of Galactus, Thor retains his godly attributes while gaining the cosmic power to challenge the most formidable beings in the universe. Both versions of Thor, Rune King Thor and Herald of Galactus, represent elevated forms of the character, showcasing his limitless potential when granted extraordinary cosmic abilities. Hope Summers is recognized as one of the most significant mutants of her era. She became known as the Mutant Messiah due to the critical role she played in mutant history. Her powers are highly versatile, allowing her to mimic and channel the abilities of nearby mutants with remarkable effectiveness. Early demonstrations of her abilities included instinctively stopping a bullet fired by Bishop, indicating her immense latent potential. Hope's prominence emerged as the first mutant birth following the near extermination of the species. Her defining moment occurred during the conflict between the X-Men and the Avengers, when the Phoenix Force, fragmented across the universe, reconstituted itself and bonded with her. At that time, she wielded vast kinetic and psychic energy, which, with guidance from the Scarlet Witch, she used to dissipate the destructive potential of the Phoenix Force and restore mutant populations, reviving hundreds who had lost their abilities during the events of House of M. Hope has refined her abilities to perform feats previously considered impossible. On the island of Krakoa, she leads a specialized team of mutants in a process capable of resurrecting deceased mutants. Her power allows her not only to enhance her own abilities, but also to amplify the effectiveness of those around her, enabling the team to operate in unison at their full potential. This development shows that Hope's powers have evolved beyond simple mimicry to a form of cooperative amplification. Her abilities continue to grow, with no clearly defined upper limit. Proteus, also known as Kevin MacTaggart, is a mutant whose abilities rank among the most dangerous in Homo Superior. He is the firstborn son of Moira MacTaggart and possesses a combination of reality warping and energy-based powers. Proteus's mutant physiology requires him to inhabit the bodies of others to exist physically, as his energy form cannot sustain itself independently. This process consumes and destroys the host, making his ability inherently destructive. From a young age, Proteus's powers manifested as a highly potent energy form, isolated and studied for much of his early life life, he eventually escaped confinement, possessing successive bodies to survive. His energy absorption ability allows him to feed on those around him, in contrast to mutants who enhance or support others. Beyond possession, Proteus possesses a secondary mutation, enabling him to warp reality. Encounters with the X-Men revealed the extent of this power, as he could alter physical laws, displace individuals into chaotic environments, and manipulate space and matter without constraint. Proteus's powers have occasionally been limited by vulnerabilities, such as an inability to possess bodies reinforced with certain metals, which provided temporary reprieve to his opponents. Despite his destructive tendencies, he has allied with Hope Summers, contributing his abilities to the mutant resurrection process on Krakoa. By doing so, he now supports the restoration and preservation of mutant life. His history demonstrates both the extreme threat he can pose and the significant potential of his powers when directed toward cooperative efforts. Exodus is a mutant with a wide-ranging and versatile set of abilities, including telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, and flight. His powers allow him to combine multiple abilities simultaneously, making him exceptionally formidable. He is also capable of generating psionic force fields and manipulating the minds of others, often using these abilities in coordinated attacks. Exodus has demonstrated the capacity to defeat multiple superpowered opponents at once. In early confrontations with X-Force, he incapacitated 2 squads of mutants using only his telekinetic powers, and subsequently teleported the surviving New Mutants team within a psionic tornado. His telepathy enables him to influence large populations, incite conflict, and deliver powerful psychic assaults while maintaining defenses against counterattacks. Exodus has served Magneto with unwavering loyalty, though his power and ambition have sometimes placed him in opposition to both the X-Men and the Avengers. In a confrontation involving the combined forces of these teams, he simultaneously defended himself, attacked, and manipulated the environment on a massive scale, showcasing his capacity to operate multiple complex powers at once. He also played a key role in restoring Professor Charles Xavier after an assassination attempt, reconstructing his brain and later engaging him in an extensive psionic duel. Even during high-level psychic combat, Exodus was capable of defending against attacks from other powerful mutants. His combination of offensive, defensive, and manipulative abilities positions him as one of the most potent mutants in existence, with few rivals capable of matching his skill and versatility. Apocalypse, also known as En-Saba-Nur, is one of the oldest and most resilient mutants, possessing near immortality due to his advanced longevity and unique physiology. His blood has potent regenerative properties, capable of healing other mutants and restoring lost abilities, as demonstrated when he saved Chamber of the X-Men. This suggests that his own healing may be continuous, making him extremely difficult to kill while he remains alive. His primary power is complete molecular control over his body, allowing him to restructure his form at will. This ability enables Apocalypse to adjust his density, adapt to physical attacks, and manifest offensive or defensive capabilities as needed. He has used this power to survive against large teams of X-Men, maintaining full control of his body while withstanding multiple attacks simultaneously. Apocalypse can also generate powerful energy blasts, further extending his offensive capabilities. Beyond his innate mutant powers, Apocalypse has augmented his abilities through extensive experimentation with both Earth-based and celestial technology. These enhancements have increased his strength, durability, and versatility, making him capable of both overwhelming his opponents and surviving extreme combat situations. His combination of molecular manipulation, regenerative blood, energy projection, and technological augmentation establishes him as one of the most formidable mutants in existence. Quentin Quire, also known as Kid Omega, is a mutant telepath whose abilities are considered highly advanced and versatile. From an early age, his powers manifested with unusual subtlety and speed, allowing him to influence and manipulate the thoughts of others with exceptional precision. Both Charles Xavier and Emma Frost recognized his potential, noting the rapidity and depth of his mental processes. Quentin's telepathy enables him to replicate the techniques of other psychics, such as creating psychic constructs or imprisoning individuals within their own minds, a method reminiscent of Emma Frost's techniques. Over time, Quentin's abilities have grown in scope and complexity. His latent power provides adaptability, making him capable of learning and mimicking new psychic skills with remarkable efficiency. His future potential includes mastery of the Phoenix Force, a cosmic entity of immense power, which is expected to significantly amplify his already formidable telepathic and telekinetic abilities. This positions him to become one of the most powerful mutants in existence, capable of wielding reality-altering energy alongside his telepathic skills. Though Quentin began as a rebellious and impulsive student at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, his growth as both a mutant and a leader has been substantial. His development has been recognized by prominent figures in the mutant community, including Wolverine, who oversaw his graduation from the Jean Grey School of Higher Learning with Captain America as a witness. Quentin Quire's trajectory indicates that he will eventually rank among the most influential and powerful telepaths in mutant history. Onslaught is a mutant entity formed from the fusion of Charles Xavier's and Magneto's minds. The entity originated when Xavier attempted to mentally purge Magneto of his darker impulses, inadvertently creating a consciousness composed of the combined hatred, fear, and aggression of both men. Over time, Onslaught's power grew within Xavier's psyche, developing into one of the most dangerous threats in the Marvel Universe. Onslaught's abilities are derived from the combined powers of Xavier and Magneto, granting him telepathy, telekinesis, and mastery over magnetic fields. He later augmented his power by acquiring the abilities of additional mutants, including Nate Gray, X-Man, and Franklin Richards, further expanding his psychic and reality-altering potential. With these combined powers, Onslaught was capable of extraordinary feats, such as generating a secondary sun to threaten Earth's population, demonstrating near-limitless control over matter and energy. The combined efforts of the X-Men, Avengers, Fantastic Four, and other heroes were required to oppose him. A critical turning point involved the Hulk, whose banner persona was suppressed to unleash the full power of his rage. This allowed the heroes to penetrate Onslaught's defenses, ultimately defeating him. Onslaught's actions illustrate the extreme danger posed by a mutant with multiple augmented power sets and demonstrate how even the most powerful heroes require precise coordination and timing to counter such a threat. Jean Grey is a mutant telepath and telekinetic who has served as one of the most significant figures in mutant history. She is best known as the third and most consequential host of the Phoenix Force, a cosmic entity of virtually limitless power that can channel its energy through a compatible vessel. Even without the Phoenix, Jean has demonstrated extraordinary psychic and telekinetic abilities. As Phoenix, Jean's power extends to cosmic scales, allowing her to manipulate matter and energy, survive in space unaided, and engage in psychic combat of immense magnitude. Her control over the Phoenix Force has enabled her to perform feats such as resurrecting herself and others, generating destructive energy blasts, and defending against threats of universal scale. On one occasion, she confronted her younger self and engaged in interstellar travel, demonstrating effortless mastery of the Phoenix's abilities. Jean Grey's power is further illustrated through encounters with other cosmic entities. In one notable instance, she confronted Galactus, the World Eater, and successfully countered his attack using a combination of her telepathic, telekinetic, and Phoenix-enhanced abilities. These examples underscore that Jean Grey's capabilities rank among the most formidable not only among mutants, but also across the wider universe, both independently and when augmented by the Phoenix Force.